Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Advancement Center, and welcome to your world of magic and miracles, and each one of our worlds that we share together, far beyond even magic and miracles. I first want to speak about an announcement that was made a week ago tomorrow, and that was that the earth was brought into the fold and the galactic family. The announcement is no less, or was no less, than the Declaration of Independence. And even as it flowed into the background of each person's world, it took its place in holding the future in a secure and looked after way where each person can feel being brought into a family. It's an amazing feeling to be accepted into a family that may not be from blood. And this Council of Galaxies that has been negotiating this movement for many years finally completed it. And there are many of us who were there as it was completed. Think of the picture of a country that participated in war, and this body that resides on Earth that governs all the countries makes sanctions on that country, and then at some point they allow them back into the family of nations. And all of a sudden, the delivery of goods and services begin to flow again. The people of the country begin to feel secure and safe, for they are enveloped by a larger family. Their independence isn't removed, but that independence left on an island does not give you a feeling of support. And that is what has happened now. If you can imagine that analogy, there are entities and beings whose interest was to keep that nation separated from the family of nations, because they would benefit from control and domination and deals that they would make through the suffering of those who were being sanctioned. When the family brings you back in, those beings and those entities are over. Even in a practical sense, as the goods and services begin to flow, there will be no more opportunity to gouge the population. And in a broader sense, the new collective power of the family moves in and swiftly eliminates those that have decided to take advantage of people. So it was a holy day to be brought into the family, into the galactic family. And Earth rejoiced, and her people rejoiced. And the beings on the Council of Galaxies rejoiced. And all galactic federations rejoiced as they brought the Earth home. It was said that many changes would begin to happen, and they are, and they will. Some noticed, some unnoticed. But one thing that was mentioned was there would be no more leaders, just senior representatives for no position of leadership would be required. So even as we are in the midst of an election that has to do about a leader and all the chaos that comes along with choosing a leader, know that that will end. And people won't have to be voted into becoming a senior representative. They will choose it for themselves. And there'll be no more individual called a president. Many more changes that have to do with flattening all hierarchical structures will come. But the beauty of it all is that you will know you're looked after. You will know that there is safety, and you will know that your immediate future is clear, full of harmony and unity. Most fear comes from not knowing the future. If you hurt your knee or your shoulder or your stomach bothers you, it's the thought of the future. Will I be able to walk? Will my stomach allow me to eat again? Therein lies the fear. If you know the future, that you're looked after, there is no fear. Our children, when they were small, knew this without knowing it. They lived without having a thought of the future because they knew they were looked after. And so they hurt their knee or their back or their foot, and they never thought, will I walk again? Because they didn't care if they walked again. They were looked after. That is what has been delivered to earth. You now can experience freedom. A greater freedom than that word implies. A freedom that allows you to know who you are, and therefore step past every prison that's ever been constructed. Not the cell that has bars, but the cell that exists as you walk down the street. The prison that tells you you're not looked after, that you're not eternal, that you did not come here from 1,000,000 years ago, that you were never born, that you can never die. That there are no rules, and that most things are delivered to keep you from knowing that. It's quite a journey we've all been on. And what we have somewhere in all of us is a determination and a drive to take care of everyone. What we have is a relentless nature to give everything we have freely. It exists in everyone. For some, it rides in the background, waiting to be provoked by some catastrophe, a hurricane, an earthquake. For others, it rides right in front of you. And you have no choice, because it is why you came here. It is that drive and relentless determination to help, to serve, to give, that leads to companionship, partnership, honor, respect. They all help to deliver the word love. But those characteristics are beyond love. It's a heartbeat. It's the power that allows a mother to lift a car off her child. And some would say that's love. But it's far more than that word, love. So we keep moving forward and closer to that us that has those characteristics right in the front. And it allows life to be lived in joy and freedom. Looked after, looked after, looked after. You have always been looked after from the day of your conception until the day that you decide to change your form from the day of your birth into this physical reality to where you are at this exact moment. And from all the moments that you would call joy to all the moments that you would call pain, you are looked after. For it is written, and he said unto his disciples, therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what you shall eat, neither for the body, what you shall put on. This life is more than meat, and the body is more than clothes. Consider the ravens, for they neither sow nor reap, which neither have storehouse nor barn, and God feeds them. How much more are you better than the fowls? Consider the lilies, how they grow. They toil not, they spin not. And yet I say unto you that Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. If then God so clothes the grass, which is today in the field, and tomorrow is cast into the oven, how much more will he clothe you? And seek not what you shall eat or what you shall drink, neither be you of doubtful mind. For all these things do the nations of the world seek after. And your Father knows that you have need of these things. But rather first seek the kingdom of God, and all these things should be added unto you. Fear not, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Know then that you have looked after every living thing, and every morsel that is imbued with consciousness and the breath of life. And it is in this moment of quiet stillness that you remember who you are and the greatest gift that you bring. It is the gift that is the foundation for the delivery of your magic. You've come here to look after life. Everything else derives itself from this one truth. It is in its simplicity is the clarity that can set each person free. It has never been about you, and it never will. You will see that this looking after will take on many different forms, and it will certainly include looking after yourself. But even when you are looking after yourself, you will most certainly be looking after the other. For it is through your well-being that a wellspring of life flows out to all life. Feel yourself now looking after this entire planet and all its inhabitants, then all planets and the galaxies that they exist in. You are the sun, a shining star that delivers unconditional love to all life. There is simply no other truth beyond these 8 simple words. You have come to look after all life. I remember a story that I'd heard before about a little girl riding on a train with her father, a long train ride, and she asked him many questions. She was 7, 8. What's life? What's this? What's that? Many questions. And she had seen maybe on TV how someone maybe talked about sex. So she asked her father, "What is sex?" And he said, "That's a little too heavy for you to carry right now. Why don't you let me carry it a while longer until you're able to carry it yourself?" And so to that, I sing these words. Come on and ease on down the road. Come on and ease on down the road. Don't you carry nothing that might be a load. Come on ease on down the road. Pick your left foot up when your right foot's down. Come on, legs, keep moving. Don't you lose no ground. You just keep on keeping on the road that you choose. Don't you give up walking 'cause you gave up shoes. Come on, ease on down the road. Come on and ease on down the road. Don't you carry nothing that might be a load. Come on, ease on down the road. 'Cause there may be times when you think you lost your mind, and the steps you're taking leave you 3, 4 steps behind. But the road you're walking might be long sometimes. You just keep on stepping and you'll just be fine. Ease on down the road. Come on and ease on down the road. Don't you carry nothing that might be a load. Come on, ease on down the road. Well, there may be times when you wish you wasn't born, and you wake one morning just to find your courage gone. But just know that feeling only lasts a little while. You just stick with us and we'll show you how to smile. Come on, ease on down the road. Come on and ease on down the road. Don't you carry nothing that might be a load. Come on, ease on down the road. Thanks, everyone. Ease on down the road. I wish you a perfect life, perfect health, and a magical, magical future. Thank you.